Hello and welcome to the latest RecordPoint product update webinar. So we run these webinars on a quarterly basis and we're looking forward to providing you with the details on all the exciting updates and some helpful hints as we go along. So as we dive into the more recent enhancements that we'll be showing you today, we'll also be giving you a chance to throw any questions our way. I'm Belinda Walsh, the Product Marketing Manager here at RecordPoint, and today myself and Simon Thompson, one of our product managers, will be talking you through these updates. I do have the whole product team available on standby though to answer any questions as we go along through the webinar. So you can pop any questions in the question tab that you'll see at the bottom of the screen. If we're unable to get to your questions today, we will follow up with you after the webinar. So just a snapshot of what we want to cover off today. So first off, bulk reclassification and some enhancements that really help you achieve greater scalability with your data classification. So Simon will be then covering off our enterprise reporting features that can help you make informed decisions and take some of those proactive measures that you need to reduce risk. So this will also include some new fields that we have recently made available in reporting. And lastly, I'm going to cover off any user interface enhancements. So to kick off, let's talk about data classification. So we know a challenge for information professionals is that exponential growth in data and the amount of data that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis, it's really not getting any smaller. So at the very core of the RecordPoint platform lies the application of AI, so machine learning, to effectively scale the management of your expanding data volumes and really help you manage your information at scale. So that leads me to our recently released enhancements around bulk reclassification. So what we've implemented is some bulk actions functionality for accepting the machine learning classification suggestions or the rejection and reclassification of those categorizations. So if we jump on over into the platform, so when you're using the classification intelligence feature and you've got a machine learning model trained, when your records move through the AI and they're assigned a suggested category, you can now accept those suggested categories for all of the items in one single action. So I'm in the classification triage area here, and I've already got a trained ML model and it's running. So I've created a search query. So I'm looking here at compensation claims, so records that have come through related to compensation claims. So you can see all these items have the suggested category of legal records compensation claims. So I'm happy with that classification and what the machine learning model has determined to be the most relevant category. So I can now select all, go to that accept suggested category button, and then use the all items option, and then simply accept all of those items at the one time. So it's really speeding up that process of accepting those suggested categories. So this enhancement is all about helping you speed up the data classification process and also helping you speed up that continuous learning and the refinement of your machine learning models. So this bulk functionality is also available for rejecting and reclassifying items at scale. So I've done another search query here that you can see. So this example, the suggested category is all around contracts and agreements. But I've also added into the search query the title field. So I want to also include the title that has letters of engagement in the query. So while they are contracts and agreements, they are a specific contract related to HR. So now I want to quickly fix that and train the model for next time. So by rejecting these, we train the old category, which isn't a good fit, and then we train the new category, which is a better fit for next time. So ensuring we get a more accurate result in the future. So once again, if I go here, we can action all those reclassifications in one single action. So once again, highlighting them, selecting the reclassify option, then using the all items option, and once again, choosing that reject and reclassify option. So what we just went through is all about helping you expedite your classification. So accepting and correcting your classifications, which you can now do at a much greater scale, helps you tune your model. Then when you're ready to activate the auto apply features that are available in the platform, you can then do that more confidently. So auto apply allows your classifications to be applied without supervision, and data is then just being seamlessly classified ongoing within the platform. So this bulk reclassification enhancement is not just limited to those who are using our machine learning features. So the bulk functionality has also been updated for everyone in the advanced search interface. So again, you can classify all of the items in one single action, saving you time. So if we jump over again into the platform, and the advanced searched area, the same principles apply for these bulk actions. So here I have a search query. The classification it's been assigned through rules was around contracts and agreements. So again, we want to amend that to a specific contracts related category. So now we can quickly fix that and reclassify all in one single action. So you can see here, we've got close to 100 items in this search query, and we'll be able to reclassify all of them together. So once again, we can action all of them together, highlighting them, selecting reclassify, using that all items option, and then choosing the correct classification and reclassifying. So now I'm actually going to hand over to Simon Thompson, one of our product managers, and he's going to take you through some of the updates to our enterprise reporting capabilities.
Thanks, Belinda. Before we go over the enhancements, I want to give everyone a quick refresher on the enterprise reporting functionality. If you're not using our reporting features yet, I encourage you to reach out to your account manager to see how you can get started. Reports are a crucial tool in a data governance initiative, giving you a bird's eye view of all of your data to help you make better and more informed decisions when it comes to your organizations and your customers' data. Our out-of-the-box enterprise reporting capabilities are designed to help you identify various patterns in your data and help you achieve specific outcomes depending on what decisions you're trying to make. I'll show you how to use reports and achieve some of those outcomes in a demo in just a few minutes. In addition to our out-of-the-box reporting capabilities, with RecordPoint, you're also given full access to the data source, so you're able to customize reports and sync data to the reporting platform of your choice. That means that you can build on top of our out-of-the-box reports in Power BI, or you can build your own reports from scratch in any other reporting platform, such as Tableau, Click, Looker Studio, or any other tool that you use for reporting. Being able to layer on your own metrics and visualizations into your reports is extremely powerful and enables your organizations to better evaluate the state of your data and ultimately make better decisions. Recently, we've enhanced our reporting infrastructure to synchronize even more data to be available in reports. These additions include items such as audits. This is a big one that we've had a lot of requests for. Users now have the capability to generate reports on individual audit events observed in RecordPoint for specific records, as well as in aggregate. This can be particularly beneficial in the realm of data security, for example, providing users with insights into the actions performed on various records at different points in time. We've also added retention schedule information to file plan categories. That means that within reports, users can now gain visibility into the retention schedule details of any category. And importantly, you can also see historical modifications made to retention schedules over time, so you can ensure that you're always keeping up with the legislation as that changes as well. With record aggregations, users now have the ability to view reports that help them navigate through a list of aggregations slated for disposal. And this could be really helpful when you're reviewing records within an aggregation before disposing of the aggregation itself, ensuring informed and defensible disposal. Okay, I'll switch over to Power BI now to give you a sense of what we can do with reports and some of the new fields that have been added. Okay, I'll give a quick refresher on our enterprise report first. So on the main overview page here, you can see we have a range of helpful metrics about our data across the entire organization. I can see how many records we have in total, how that's changing over time, and I can see compliance related information, such as how many of my records are categorized versus uncategorized, and how many records are due for disposal. This is all really helpful information to give me a bird's eye view of my data and helps me answer the question of how well we're doing as an organization at data governance. If I want to go into a more specific use case, I can do that in these different tabs down here below. Now let's take a look at one of the new fields we've just added, such as audits. I'll take a second to show you how easy it is to construct your own reports yourself. I'll click on the new audit event field over here on the right-hand side, and we'll just add some of those fields. So let's go with created date, event type, source, and username. That's going to start constructing a table for me here, where I can now see all of those audit events and what types they are. I could then start to add filters, so I can slice and dice that data however I like. Then if I want to add a new visualization over here, I could say, let's add event types. Then I can see all of the different audit events and see what types of audit events are happening across my data. So here's one that I prepared earlier. So I can see a table over here, what types of records I've got. And then I can start to add these filters, like let's see what this particular user has been doing within the platform. And so I can start to get a sense of, when I'm doing investigative work, what types of users are taking what types of actions, which can be really helpful information. Similarly, if I look over here at our disposal report, so one of the new reports that we've constructed is this aggregate disposal approval report. So now I can click on any of these aggregations up here that have been sent for disposal, and then that's going to filter the rest of the report to show me all of the records within that aggregation. And I can break that down by the different categories and the content sources over here. So that's going to give me a really good sense as the disposal approver of what I'm actually disposing of when I dispose of an aggregation. Now, you don't have to be a Power BI expert. If you'd like to see how you can better leverage RecordPoint's reporting capabilities, reach out to your account manager and we'd be happy to help. All right, and with that, I'll hand it back over to you, Belinda.
Excellent. Thank you, Simon. So what I want to cover off lastly today are our latest user interface enhancements. So for those of you who were on our last product webinar, you might remember us starting to introduce more and more of these UI updates across the platform. So the last webinar, we covered off some of those, including the more consistent and user-friendly button design that you will see throughout the platform now. So you will continue to see more and more of these UI changes over the coming months and beyond. So these efforts, they're part of a larger UI project, and you will gradually see these changes roll out in your own environments. So some of the recent enhancements you may have noticed include improvements to our grid UI within the advanced search screen. So we introduced a customizable column width and also a horizontal scroll bar to that advanced search UI. So this allows you to focus on the specific metadata that's relevant to the given search that you're doing and really concentrate in on the task at hand and those relevant fields. So as you can see on screen, there's greater flexibility and you've also got that horizontal scroll, which makes it much easier to see all the fields that you need to see. Sometimes the smallest of improvements can make the biggest difference, and you can now add a custom title to your exports. So thanks to all the users that provided feedback on this particular enhancement in our online user forum. So now you can set that export title as part of the export process. So as you can see, all these items, these exports, they've been given a relevant title, making them much easier to identify and manage your exports going forward. So to recap what we've covered off today, so bulk reclassification for the use in both the machine learning classification feature and also in advanced search. We've also done a refresher on enterprise reporting and how to build out some of those more custom reports using some of the new fields like audits, which are now available. Then lastly, the user interface enhancement, so that those more flexible grid UIs and the export titles. So if you do have any more questions, you can still add them to the question tab as we wrap up, and we will stick around and finish answering any of those questions. So while you're adding any last minute questions, I wanted to make you all aware of a series of educational content pieces which we call Filed. So part of Filed is a regular podcast, which are conversations all about records management, data privacy, data security, and governance. So we've had some great guests recently, and some topics covered over the last couple of months include why organizations must be proactive in their cybersecurity approach, privacy maturity and how that requires information governance maturity. We also had a really interesting session on why organizations must address their vendor risk, and a more hands-on session on how to streamline records management using ChatGPT. So we'll include a link to Filed in the follow-up email so you can explore all of those in your own time. And we're always open to suggestions on things that you'd like us to cover in not only these product webinars, but also the broader webinars and events that we hold at RecordPoint. So please reach out with any suggestions so we can explore those further. So I also wanted to cover off how you can keep up to date with any product updates. So we do send out email notifications on significant product updates. So please make sure your account manager has all the relevant team members who need to be receiving those updates. I will include more information in the follow-up email so that you can ensure you're getting those updates. So if your team members want to be notified more often, you can follow the latest updates section of the RecordPoint Help Center, and you will be notified of all new features, upgrades, UI improvements as they happen. So the team are covering off any of the questions you've added into the question tab, and we will stick around and continue answering those. Thank you all for joining us today, and we look forward to seeing you on our next webinar.